Alright, you guys, so I have a crazy dream story to tell you. I want to try to remember this and get this out there before I forget it. This was a really crazy dream, and I'm not really sure about how it connects to like reality and stuff like that, but at the same time, it's just pretty crazy. And I know that it represents parallels like in my life or in my mind. There's things like that, or concepts and themes that I've experienced. Okay, so I dreamt that there was someone I knew. And this dream was like a cross between reality and TV show, because the theme show is Breaking Bad. If you don't know about Breaking Bad's about a guy who's a high school chemistry teacher, and he gets cancer, and then he realizes he's dying and feels like a loser because he hasn't accomplished much in his life. Feels like he doesn't have anything to show for, and his brother-in-law is a DEA agent who busts meth producers and drug people all the time. He brings in one of Rylong, who somehow realizes how much money you can make making meth. And he's fascinated by this concept of making it because he's a chemist. So he decides to make it and make money and kind of just do that as a top secret operation. And he slowly starts spiraling down this tube of just bad things happening, where he's done this bad thing. He's basically become a bad person, even though he was trying to do it for the right reasons. It's just, you can't make meth for the right reasons. You can't. It's just not possible. And he's trying to support his family and everything like that. He had a new baby on the way, things like that. So it was just crazy. But he ends up killing a bunch of people. He ends up being like this cold, calloused, evil, unapproachable, unstoppable type of force of a person, where if you cross this guy, he's basically going to kill you. He will absolutely kill you. He will absolutely have you killed, if it's necessary. And anything's necessary for him. It doesn't even matter, because he doesn't have much of a conscience. So in my dream, that character's name is Walter White. He's the guy you see, and he's got the intense glasses, bald head, intense face. Walter White. Bryan Cranston, the guy who played the dad on Malcolm in the Middle. Anyway, so in my dream took place in some very interesting types of places. It took place in houses and homes that I've been in and or lived in or thought of or seen or felt or thought about at some point. And it also took place in a warehouse/grocery store situation and classroom, I guess. But anyway, I was there, and the thing is I knew Walter White in this dream. I knew him. The character in my dream who was like Walter White. I knew him, and I actually used to work for him. And the question was, are you still cool with me? Because if you're not, then your life's on the line. That's how it works with somebody like that. And if you are, then what does that mean? What are you willing to do for me? He says. And it's kind of one of those things where it's like, this is a very intense dream. It's one of those things where it's like, if you know about him and you reveal his identity, he'll kill you. That's just how it works. That's just what would happen. He would just kill you. So you better keep his secret. You better keep all his secrets, or he'll kill you. That's what this is. That's what the situation is. So in the dream, I know this guy. I'm kind of like Jesse Pinkman in a way. I worked with him, and then now I don't. But I kind of have to be his friend for the sake of my own survival. I have to be his friend. However, he's a psychopathic killer. He's a drug kingpin. He does things without regret. He does things without second thought. He ends lives without caring. He doesn't care. It's all about his business. It's all about what he can accomplish. And I think the version in my dreams was a lot worse than the one in the show, honestly. This guy was like the Terminator. But anyway, and have you guys had dreams like this? Let me know about your dreams. Like, I want to hear about your experiences too. You know, because it's interesting what dreams we have, when, and why. Why, right? Why are we having these dreams, right? So it was very confusing. It was very intense. I just remember being in the dream, and I remember there being other people in the dream who were good, friendly, honorable, good people. And they didn't know who he was. And he was a wolf in sheep's clothing. He was just hiding in plain sight. And people didn't really know much about him. They didn't really know who he was or what he was capable of. They didn't know what he did. They had no idea who he really was. And they had no idea that he was behind all the horrible things that would happen. Like, someone would get killed, or someone would go missing, or someone would get killed. And I knew. And that's the trouble when you know. It's a burden. Because you know it, and you have to carry this burden as well. Because what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Snitch on him? If you don't succeed, you're dead. If you don't succeed, it's like this. If you don't take him out, you get taken out. At some point or another. It's just kind of how it works. Ultimately, it's just how it works. So there's this really wonderful guy I know in real life. And he was a really wonderful guy in my dream. And they killed him. And it was just like, I was just remember being like, oh my gosh, I can't take this anymore. Oh my gosh, this is too much. I can't take this anymore. And so I started thinking, I'm going to tell the truth. I'm going to get this guy. I'm going to get this guy caught. I'm going to get him covered. I'm going to get him caught. I'm going to, and these are really scary things to say and think when you're in a position where there's a really powerful, dangerous guy who has some kind of leverage over you, and you have leverage over him as well. However, what are you willing to do? Are you willing to risk your life to try to put him away? Are you willing to risk your life to try to bring him to justice? Like, it's impossible, it seems. Because it seems like he knows everything. He can read it all. And if he looks at you and you don't convince him that you're not trying to do that, if you don't convince him that he can trust you, your life is on the line. And so this guy in the dream, he's going along, and I'm like, start getting this feeling again and again and again. I'm like, man, I gotta do this. I gotta turn him in. I gotta do it. And it's a little funny because your emotions kind of play with you. Because you think, I can't do this. A, you think, I can't do this for my own survival because he's going to kill me. And the other part is, you think you can't do it because it messes with you, and he definitely manipulates you with this, is, he's your friend. Yeah, that's the thing. He says, but he's your friend. How could you betray your friend? You know? It's crazy. Really crazy. And so, I was just dealing with that last night in my dream, and I made the decision to do it and go through with it. And I did it. And it was slowly starting to work off. It was a chain of events, little events. And I had to go, I made the decision, I crossed over, I was on the other side, I had made the decision to turn him in, and I was going through with it. And in other words, I had already set things in motion for it to happen. And this was just a really intense dream, and it didn't have like a definite conclusion. It just kind of had like just ended. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys. It was my interesting dream I had last night. It was intense, that's for sure. So, anyway, let me know about your dreams, or, and I will talk to you later. Thanks for listening.